Hi, my name is Josh King, and I'm here today with Best in Class magazine as their tech staff writer, and I'm going to be taking a look at two of the forensic imaging options on the market today. First, we have the all-in-one unit from Cyanline, and we also have an offering from Tableau. Now, when comparing these two devices on their speed and their ease of use, we've opted to go with an SSD to eliminate any bottlenecking that can come from the source drive. And it's an 80 gig drive, 2.5 inch form factor with SATA connectors. And on the drive we have about 3,500 JPEG files, which amounts to about 6 gigabytes. I'll be running through some of the features and the differences between the two when it comes to presenting forensic evidence. Alright, I've got the Tableau powered on. I've got the Intel SSD as the source drive right here with that 6 gigs of images on it. And then I've got a Fujitsu 2.5 inch destination drive, and this is running at 5,400 RPM. The setup's pretty easy. You plug it in, turn it on. You've got the menu button here for some different options to format the drive, the destination drive. Then in there you've also got your checksum options and a log, and the log can be exported via USB, for instance, onto a little pen drive or something like that. We'll just go exit out of here. Main menu. Simple as this. Push back. Let me right back here. Duplicate disk. Disk to disk. And so you've got disk to disk and disk to file. Let's do disk to file in case I actually want to run a few different source drives onto the one destination drive. Go ahead and start it. Gives you an option to name this image that we're going to create a case ID number. I'll just put in AAA just to make it nice and simple. Push OK. Gives me a warning that the drive isn't empty. That's fine. And there it is. It's starting right now. Duplicating. Estimated time. It's giving me 46 megabits a second, which is 2.8 gigabytes a minute. The estimating time looked like it was about 48 minutes there. So the key features, pretty easy, pretty simple to use, small unit. Obviously you're having to supply your own drive, and this is kind of takes up a bit of space. Not the cleanest of options for your workflow. You got your power, your SATA, your IDE, and then you can also have a second destination drive hooked up here. It's actually got 1 and 2. Probably, you know, if you've got really sensitive data, you're not necessarily trusting the one drive. It has a parallel output. And then once again the USB for outputting the log file. That's it. Pretty simple. Set it and wait, and it's done 2% right now. So as you can see, it's definitely not the fastest option. All right, let's take a look at the Cyanline FDAS, and I've got it turned on, and got the Intel SSD, that 80 gigabyte SSD plugged in via eSATA, and we're at the main menu here. Disk source Intel, is that correct? Yes, it is. And we're going to make the image at the fastest rate, and I've already got one on here, so we're just going to save next to it, and it's going to start up right now. And there we have on screen time left about 7 minutes. 8 minutes for the full 80 gig, which is super fast. I mean, you're seeing it's going there at 11, between 11 and 12 gigs a minute. And that's all because of that RAID setup that we've got inside there. And that's the full forensic image, not just the data on there, that's the entire disk. And I'll just turn the unit around here real quick so you can have a look at these inputs back here. And what we've got is the power, and then we've got the power coming out for the source drive. This is plugged in by the eSATA. You got your HDMI as well as your DVI out and your old VGA, your old keyboard input there, and then the USB, of course. So if you want to do some command line, more advanced things, you got that as an option with the monitor out, and of course the FireWire for any discs that are coming in via that as opposed to an eSATA connection. And we'll let this run through, and I've plugged in the Ethernet there, and I'll run you through the network interface real quick and show you some of the features of that. Alright, here we are. I've connected the Ethernet and typed in the address here in the browser, and this brings me to the login. The login is admin, and I'm actually going to deny that this time. And here we go. I've got the web interface here, and as you can see, I've got multiple images from me reading through and just getting multiple captures of forensic images of that Intel data. And you can open up the text giving you the little bit of information, the data about the actual forensic image, the average speed, all of this information. It's great. A lot more than the Tableau can give you, and it's right through the network. It's live, as opposed to having to download it to a USB stick. And of course you've got the actual information, the smart status and everything going on here. You've got a lot of information. This is going to be very good for your records, and in terms of not showing tampering, you can check on all those types of things for admissibility purposes. And we've got just some options here, the license, doing a check, checking the images, the MD5 sum, all of that. You know, this is where you can set up the destination if you want to set up a network destination. All of those types of things, very, very easy to access over the internet. And you can add new users and give them limited access accounts just to keep everything secure. And this is one of the main features that really sets this apart and into a whole new possibility of doing off-site data backup through a network, and having a junior technician go to the site and giving them limited access so that you can make sure everything is admissible and there's no areas, no shades of gray when it comes to the actual image itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and log out now, and that's it. Alright, to recap on our two offerings from Cyanline and Tableau, the main thing about the Tableau is it took a long time. The 6 gigabytes took 45 minutes, and to verify that, the MD5 checksum was about another 25 minutes. That's a long time just for 6 gigabytes. The Cyanline was very fast. It only took 6 minutes to do the data and approximately 4 or 5 minutes to do the checksum. Huge factor, especially when doing more data. 6 gigs is not a great deal. I'm sure a lot of you would be finding up to 200 or 300 gigs, and in that case this offering would take a significant amount of time. The other great thing about the Cyanline is that the drives are already included. You don't have to worry about a source drive. You can just plug in the destination drive and you're good to go. You've got the RAID set up with 1.5 terabytes, which is plenty of space. And not only that, but you also have the ability to have the network connection as opposed to having a straight drive source with the Tableau and no networking options. So for me, and if it was my employees, it would definitely be the Cyanline. The Tableau is good, however, though. It is quite a bit cheaper, $1,500 versus the $4,000 offering from Cyanline. If it's something you don't find yourself using very often, maybe once or twice a year, and speed is not a great deal, then it's a good option. But if it's something you're using on a pretty regular basis, you're involved in this, monthly, weekly, definitely this is going to frustrate you, and you're not going to want to use it. So that being said, I hope today's been informative for you. You make a good decision now based on these offerings, and thank you so much. And my name is Joshua King, and I'm from Best in Class Magazine, Tech Staff Writer. Have a great day.